Oh, whoa. That works.
Hey, welcome back everyone. We're back out here with another project at the alley house, and unfortunately it's a redo. So when we built this, we used 20 feet long 6x6s to have continuous posts up to what will be a roof on the porch here. And as you can see, they're having some issues. A couple of them have bent quite a lot, and this one is really severe down low, and that one is really bad up high. So what we're gonna have to do is remove these, unfortunately. And besides getting a crane, I have no idea how to fight a 20-foot long piece in there again. So we're gonna have to do them in sections and splice, unfortunately. You can see how this one's actually pulling up on the anchor. Thankfully we used the SD screws, and it actually even broke one of those off pulling up, but we'll be able to unscrew those, get that out. You can get a sense just how badly that has bowed. I should put a piece of wood or a level onto that and get a measurement, but it's pretty severe, and it's even pulling the joists out a little bit there. I'm not sure how well that shows with the sun. But we'll cut off the top, we'll get it unbolted, we'll get that out. And then we got a 12-foot long piece that we're gonna put in as the replacement. And then another piece on top of that, of course. We'll take a quick look up top. Unfortunately, this is just kind of the nature of pressure-treated lumber these days. You can see how that one bent crazy and a little bit of a twist. And swing around, you can see how it's pushing way out. The end two are pretty plumb, although twisted a little bit. We can still work with those, but you can also see how it's pulling the floorboards back. So we'll cut off the top up here first, remove our temporary rail. We're gonna have to pull up a couple of the deck boards and then get the bottom out, get the new post recut, and it comes up above deck level enough that we can do a splice with another post on top of that to get us up to roof level. And then we can get the roof built, but that's another video. So we will go ahead and get started. So first step on this is we need to anchor this to the building. This is a freestanding deck because it's over a brick veneer. Simpson makes a special connector to make that work, but we needed a post at the end anyway. So one more post here was just a little bit more, little effort. And the rods we're putting in here will just keep it tied so that it doesn't float away, basically. So we're just drilling through threaded rod anchors. It'll go through the floor joist framing on the inside into multiple joists, and then should never move. They don't, again, have any structural bearing except for that. So that does involve drilling through the wood, then through the brick veneer here that we just went through, and then we have to drill through the wood inside again. So kind of a multi-step process, but only 3 holes, so not taking very long. So after drilling through the brick, we just take this drill with an 18-inch long wood bit and run it through, and that gets us through the first joist in there, and then we're just sliding the rod in, and then we know where to line up on the next joist to drill through. Pretty simple on the inside. So after we put the blocks in, we just drilled through again from the outside to get all the way through, push the threaded rod through, mark where we need to drill, and then we had to use the atomic impact there to be able to fit it in this kind of tight space here at the end. And it's just enough space that we can get drilled through this next I-joist and block as well. So once everything's drilled through and the rod is tightened with nuts and washers, this is what we end up with. So that should have no problem holding the porch tight to the building. We can finally start the actual replacement of this middle piece now. And the first step in that is cutting the top off, and it will be interesting to see just how straight that still is up here. Can we reuse it at the top? That would be nice if so. If not, oh well. But we're gonna cut it off essentially at deck level here. Then we'll pull some boards, unbolt it, and hopefully it comes out nice and easy.
All right, well, cut the outside first. Cut the outside. Don't fall off the edge. Rubber.
No battery? Not gonna be cutting very far.
This board's marked too.
Alright, try again.
Might not cut the side you're on there. This one, cut this side here.
So we don't walk ourselves.
I know, but I was looking at the straight it looked.
Seems actually
Pretty straight.
pretty straight.
Pretty straight. So
Good as you're gonna get it. Good as you're gonna get it a store.
It's below where it bent.
It's bent at the bolts.
Yeah. Hit the middle. Take your deck hit. Ah, one more. I see. No, there's one missing right here.
Well, that was painful because that original post was not cheap, but it does appear the top part is pretty much straight, so I think we may be able to reuse this for the splice on to the new lower part. But for now, we'll get the we got to get a few deck boards up here so we can get the existing completely out and then the new slid in from below.
It's tight here too. It was tight against the old post. Let's carry it inside.
Well, that is new since yesterday. My head was right up there when we were putting the threaded rod through and definitely did not see them then. They seem pretty calm, but we are going to have to evict them, I think. So just to get an idea of how bad the bow is down here, holding that level, the level plumb, it's about 3.5 inches, give or take, down here. But if we still had the top on it and we put the whole curve, it would be substantially more than that. And then in this direction, spin it around the other side. Nope, your other side. I think it was not nearly as bad. Looking at, oh, well, closer to an inch. You're holding out a little bit, so not nearly as bad that direction, but bowed 2 ways. And now we're gonna get the bolts undone up top, and we'll take the screws out down here, and with the floorboards off, should be plenty of room back there to just lean it back. Hopefully it'll pop free of the 2x12s there, and then we just lower it down. This seems to be a touch easier said than done. The bolts at the top, with the way it's twisted, are quite tight. They're loosened up, but don't quite want to come out yet. And the screw down here with the twist doesn't want to come either. On the other side, that same screw just sheared off. All right, oh, loosening up. So we're hoping by loosening the bottom, it lines the top up better, and then we can hammer the bolts out up there. So you can see how just taking the screws out of the anchor down there, it shifted way out and made the top a little more plumb. So it looks like that's just what we needed. We'll be able to hit it a little ways, and then we'll have to pry from the front to get those completely out. Hopefully they slide out. That works. Most of it's out. We could just attach it to that on top and bottom, and surely that would hold.
Super glue. Our Gorilla glue.
Oh, hey, Gorilla.
It's still up good. I need to set the tape first. Get a slice
Oh.
next to the bolt
Yeah.
and release some pressure on it.
Not the world's greatest blade. really did not expect this part to be so darn tough, but basically just having to cut the piece apart and split it to get it to come out from the bolts, and certainly not the quickest and easiest, but it is almost out now, so end result is all that really matters. And part of the struggle here was we had popped a couple screws in that first 2x12 just temporarily before we bolted it, so those are hidden fasteners at this point, so I had to get up there and cut those, and then there is a joist right on the side, so yeah, that'll be out soon enough. Meanwhile, I'm getting started on cutting the notch in the new post here. I'm not entirely sure when my big brain figured out that it's easier to cut in from the side instead of making a series of cuts across when you need to do a notch or something similar like this. It's definitely a big time savings as long as it's big enough that you can cut in from the side. So obviously a regular circular saw does not go all the way through a 6x6, so it's cut from both sides. It'll have to be finished with the reciprocating saw, but reciprocating saws are made for plunge cuts, so it goes right through pretty easy. So just a little bit of finish up work, and of course because it is a circle it doesn't even make a complete cut even if it went all the way through, but good enough. It gets close enough. The reciprocating saw finishes up, and done so much quicker than knocking out all the slices, chiseling it all that. So it is easy enough to go get new bolts if we had to, of course, but we've already wasted enough lumber here. No reason to waste the bolts if we don't need to. And it looks like with that crack there, that may be enough to get it to pop out. There we go. Hooray. Okay, so now we can just hammer the bolts out the rest of the way, hopefully. And then we do need them all the way out because we'll need to re-drill the holes into the new post, of course. All right, now we got our splice joint cut here, and that's pretty simple. You just notch out half, and then the piece that's going on top will have the corresponding half notched out of it, and then it gets 6 bolts, 3 inches in at the center, and then another 3 inches. Should be good and strong, and in this case it's just gravity and uplift load for the roof, not a live load, so it doesn't really need to do a lot. It'll be nice and strong for that though. Okay, why don't you gotta roll it like that. There we go.
I gotta go past it though.
Oh, but that ain't gonna work. We can't just push it straight up.
No, you gotta come.
You gotta go that way probably. No, go that way. Alright, now start coming.
Nope,
Nope,
not that way.
Go up.
Just
like
going
that.
out. In the wrong direction. Wait, let me get up. Oh, I got it. I'm gonna have to get up there. Let me get upstairs.
I think you're actually going to have to hit down so that it seats.
You think that's...
Yeah, it needs to just a touch. Because it doesn't want to make it one problem.
There's no hitting device up here.
Where'd you put the sledgehammer? You had it out here.
It's in the garage, yes.
Yeah, all the way back.
That's not bad. Alright. Got it lined up?
Yeah. slightly, pretty well seated. And yeah. So close. Try get down on it while I push in. There it goes. Yeah. There we go. It was just that tight. Oh, you know what we didn't do is smack the whole outside back in. Needs a little attitude adjustment down here. Good side to side, we need to come out at the bottom. Way through. Well, that was almost too easy. Here, start that off. Start. Not really. Yeah, it's just needs a ratchet. Yeah. You want to put your other one? You want that? No, because I want to pull this in. Here's your ratchet. Or you want me to try ratchet from the front, up on top, and you cap or whatever. It's in it. If we have the strap to hold while it bounces. So as we talked about, it had curled this whole top out, and we were able to beat it back most of the way with the help of some ratchet stress to tighten as we went, and we think we can get the last little bit of it with pulling in the bolt here. And you know, if we're slightly different than it was when it was built, no big deal, that's fine. It's not like wood doesn't move around just naturally anyway, even when it doesn't get crazy curves. So we stick up this far for the splice, and we'll have to figure that top out, but at this point we have the support back in place, so that's what really matters. And you can definitely tell there was some tension on those. So we're all put back together up on top, and the top piece is unfortunately going to have to wait for another day. So we got the safety rail back in place. Of course, we can't put the final rail on until we have all of that, but we will do the extension on that at the same time as we take care of this nice bent end. Thankfully, this is only the top, so we'll just have to put that splice joint on it and then extend up to the actual height we need. As it is right now, it is higher. Really, I guess we probably only need about 8 feet-ish, give or take, on top of this. So, and then this end does have a bit of a twist at the top. We'll see if we can take that out. If not, we'll deal with it. It does get trimmed down a little bit as it stands now, so that'll take care of some of it. We'll see how that works out, but the roof is another project for another day. Look at that nice and straight post now. Hopefully it stays that way. I guess we'll find out as it dries out here. Not as wet as the other posts were when we put them in, so maybe that's a good sign. We shall see. So next up here, we got a bunch of interior work. More insulation and drywall inside, waterproofing the shower. And then on the exterior, we will be getting more siding up soon. So stay tuned for that coming up. But for now, that's a wrap on this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, we'd really appreciate a like and a subscription. Helps out a small channel like we have here. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. I know we're enjoying making it. So again, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.